Hi guys, it's Michelle Patterson here with Angel Souls, and this is your weekly Angel Oracle card reading for the week beginning August 1st, 2016. For this week, I'm going to be using the Archangel Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue, and of course pulling a color card from the Secret Language of Color Oracle deck by Inna Segal. Personal readings, go ahead and get in line. Turns out this is a great time, so go ahead. I shouldn't speak too soon, but I want to say I'm like really caught up. So that feels really good. I got my schedule kind of, laid out. So if you want to get a reading, go ahead and get in line. Go to my website. There's a lot of confusion with this, okay? AngelSouls444.com, the services tab. So many people use their phones these days, and I think you have to tap on menu and then it's either up or down, but you have to kind of like scroll in order to see the services page. I chose my my template for my website because it was supposed to be mobile friendly, but apparently it's causing a lot of confusion, so I do apologize for that. One day, I'm really hoping like 2017 is that year where I can hire a staff. That makes me feel like I'm big time or something, but no, like seriously, I want somebody who records the videos, they take care of a website, all that good stuff. So that's kind of what's going on with the personal readings. Also, I have courses up on Gumroad, okay? If you want, I'll leave all this down below. And also the August extra reading for the month, okay? So it kind of goes hand in hand with the YouTube reading for August. I want to get your opinion on something. Do you guys want the extra readings every month? Because what I'm seeing is that, I don't know, like as a business person, I have to look at the time and the effort I put into those videos compared to how many sales I'm getting. If there's not a whole lot of interest, we don't need to do them anymore. Do you know what I mean? And that cuts like several days of filming and editing out of my schedule and frees up my schedule a little bit more for more personal readings. So let me know what your thoughts are on that and what you would like to see. All right. And of course, if you'd like to support me on Patreon, I will leave all that down below. Let's get to it. You're going to see my lighting is different. It's a long story, but I was trying to like figure out a good place to film and I didn't want to drag all my lighting out here. So I'm sorry if it's a little bit darker than usual, but I think we can make it work. All right. So let me just put some white light on the cards. Now, if you guys have Oracle decks at home, this is a great thing to talk about here. I have a candle lit. I've got all my good crystals right behind me on my bookshelf here. Just, carefully waving the cards over some white light can really help sort of clear them out. I've seen some people sort of shake them or whatever. I like to just kind of like, hopefully this won't be too loud, but just kind of bang it a few times on the table and get some of the old energy out of the deck. So let's get to it. August 1st. I need a better month. I don't know about y'all, but if you follow me on Facebook, you know that I took a pretty bad fall while I was hiking. Loose gravel. I don't know if you want to see my elbow, but got this giant bruise and another bruise somewhere else that we're not going to talk about. But yeah, I was just like, man, I'm just trying to enjoy a little bit of nature. What's up, That and being busy. All right. So hopefully August starts off really, really well. And it looks like it will. Can we pull more cards? We're going to pull more cards this week, guys, because we need more information. I'm not wearing my glasses, so if you see me like, that's what's happening. I can't read it. Okay, well, first of all, let me just take this in. Let's look at the color schemes here. There's a lot of purple, there's a lot of blue, and you'll see that as I hold up each card. So purple to me, yes, it's the crown chakra, yes, it's wisdom, but for me, what it feels like is it's sort of like coming through the battle. Okay, coming through the battle, being able to sort of cleanse and transmute yourself. Violet flame meditation might be a really good thing to employ this week. As a matter of fact, I might do it as soon as I'm done with this video. And just sort of, again, maybe working with Zadkiel, Zadkiel. He is the angel of transmutation and helping you kind of take not a positive spin on things, because that can denote that it's kind of fake, but having a fresh perspective, okay, and trying to understand where everybody else is coming from as well. So the first card we have here, and we'll talk about the blue here in just a second. Overcoming difficulties, Archangel Jeremiah. All right. This is sort of, those planes again. I'm like a magnet for aviation, sorry. Archangel Jeremiah, he's all about life review. So this might be a week where you're just kind of stopping and going, it's almost like you can't believe that stuff that you've been worried about for a very long time, it's finally done. It's finally over. And if ever you've had something that like let's say you were graduating high school or college or something. You remember what it was like to have your final exams, and then when you were done, it's like you still had nightmares that you were prepping for your final exams. You ever have those? But you almost need like a recovery time when you come out of, all this difficulty. And I check with the astrologers, but I think we're coming up to eclipses in September or something like that. So it's been some challenging energies. People are definitely not as nice. And as a matter of fact, a little combative and malicious at times. So I think this overcoming difficulties, it's sort of like that's coming to a close now for the week of August 1st, but it might still be a week where you're sort of stinging or still a little sore from everything that had gone down. Okay, and I'm not talking just like last month, but this might be things that have gone on the past few months, since the beginning of this year, even the past couple of years, depending on what your particular situation is. So the card says, the worst is now behind you and you are surmounting any previous challenges. So let me just check my good little viewfinder, make sure that we can see this okay. Yeah, it's good enough. Okay, fine. So this is nice. So the things that you've been really worrying about, they're finding their end, they're finding their conclusion. And again, because Jeremiah shows up in this card, again, it's like going back and looking over everything you've been through and how you've come through it. And I love to just be Pollyanna here and be like, and then you learn the lesson, but maybe not. I mean, maybe not. Sometimes a victory, even though you're coming home victorious, you're coming home a little beat up too. So it goes back to that idea of the recovery time. So yes, you're going to see things starting to feel better, but it might take a minute for you to start feeling like you can put the past behind you. Okay, still a little bit of a raw feeling for this week. The next card we have is Creative Writing, Archangel Gabriel. I'm laughing because I've been working with these angels quite closely. Archangel Gabriel, make time to write down your thoughts in a journal or pen, an article or book. For some of you out there, if you've been working on a creative writing project, you're going to pick it up again this week and you'll probably complete it. It will be complete. And they're saying just polishing from then on. And for some and I think this is for me too, I think towards the end of September, you're going to be solid. You're going to be solid on your project. As a lot of you know, I'm working on the first Matronia book and she's almost done. I'm going through the second round of rewrites and then I go to a copy editor and a proofreader. So big times, and I'll definitely keep you posted on that as well. Now, if you are not somebody who's into creative writing, okay, look at the blue here. We're going to talk about, we have another blue card in here as well. So blue is the throat chakra. This is speaking your truth, being honest with yourself. How did this really affect you? How did these difficulties, play out for you? And you might need to journal about it and write it down. And that's part of what helps you sort of review. Okay, remember Jeremiah with the life review. So that you can be free of the turmoil, so that you can, there's a lot of healing and cleansing going on. Oh, Jeremiah came up twice. And we have Ariel and we have Azrael. I'm really surprised Raphael didn't show up here because... You gonna show up, Raphael? Hang on a second, let me just see. I can be here if you'd like. Yes, please come in. Clunky heart. Some of you have a lot of pent-up energy in your heart and it's got a little, as I heard, clunky. I don't know what that means. Well, actually I do. But you know how some people who have like heart murmurs, let's use that as an example. You know how your heart will sort of skip a beat and then it sort of clunks and then it, like an old car trying to get going. That's sort of where some of our energies are around our heart chakra. So this might be a good week. Again, it's all that stuff we already talked about. We were kind of looking at where you've been and kind of reviewing, writing it down, sort of having a catharsis through writing. But then ask Raphael to come in and sort of restore and sort of shock the heart back into its appropriate rhythm, so to speak. So it's like energetically getting it started again. Because if you are watching this video, chances are pretty good you're a very sensitive person. And, when someone's being cruel or you're seeing cruelty in the world and you're hearing these awful stories. I mean, I pray all the time for the world and for world peace. And I cannot bring myself to even read some of the stuff on the internet anymore, especially on Facebook where people put these sad, sad stories up. I'm not trying to bury my head in the sand and pretend like stuff isn't happening, but it's like, I already know it's there. Okay. And I'm praying about it and praying for people's well-being, but that can really, it can really kind of mess up the heart space. And then they're showing me too the solar plexus. Now, depends on who you talk to. Some people associate Archangel Uriel, Uriel, with the solar plexus. I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but here's my take on it. I kind of feel like any archangel can kind of come in and be like a floater angel. Like sometimes I feel like Archangel Michael. If I need courage, I ask him to come in, and I always feel him kind of put his hand over my solar plexus and sort of put some energy into it. So I guess, run with whatever you feel. It's fine. It doesn't matter. It really comes down to your intention. That's where the power is. Okay. So whatever you believe, go with it. All right. So the next card we have here, right in the center of the reading, we have All Is Well. And it's interesting that I felt the need to pull 5 cards because we have sort of, like the seesaw thing going on. And this would be right in the middle, sort of balancing these two sides out. Well, let me get this. There's a lot coming through. So the old way is done. I'll hold it up here in a second. You're doing this catharsis, or for some of us, we're finishing up a creative project, and we're finally coming to some realization. I almost feel like this is in the middle of the week, which is not typical for them to present it that way, at least with me. But it's like around Wednesday, you start going, okay, I see how things are going to be okay. I can see now how I can move forward. I know what the answer is. I know what the solution is. Okay. And then we'll get into the other cards for when you come through when you actually come through the difficulty and you realize that everything is okay. So it's Archangel Jeremiah. I can't talk. Jeremiah. Again, everything is happening exactly as it is supposed to. With hidden blessings, you will soon understand. This cracks me up because I'm already kind of seeing that. There were some turbulent times that I went through. I'm like, oh my gosh, why did that have to happen? I don't like being at odds with people. I don't like having that kind of energy going back and forth. It's kind of psychically not nice, right? But then I realized, well, if that hadn't happened, then these other events wouldn't have happened either. So you're realizing, you're putting the puzzle pieces together, and this is going to make you feel better about some of the things that occurred. You know that somehow on a soul level, you guys, if you are at odds with another person or people, or there's a situation, somehow having that conflict with that person helped them, it helped you, and now you're both a little bit forward on on your life's plan than you were before. All is well. Everything is exactly the way it needs to be. Now we have this comfort card. Okay, so when we have the comfort card pop up and it's got that blue on it again, be truthful with yourself. Okay, there's this is a little bit darker blue in this one, so this could be the third eye, of course, the indigo aspect. But this comfort says, you're battle weary. You're this would be like if this were the tarot. I'm not a tarot expert, but I want to say it would be the 9 of Wands card. Is that the one with the guy with the big bandage on his head? Thank you, Smith, for coming up with that. But yeah, that's what this kind of feels like. Now, in angel terms, this is where we call in Archangel Azrael, who helps with transformation. So people sort of associate Azrael as being the angel of death. Stop doing that to Azrael, okay? Azrael helps you transform. Azrael comforts you, and it doesn't have to be something as awful as a physical death for you to call upon Azrael. Azrael can come in where you're leaving one portion of your life behind and coming into a new way of being. And change can be hard. Change can feel like you're grieving. You're grieving for who you used to be, right? So he can kind of come in and help you with that. So call upon Azrael. The card, once again, is comfort. I am with you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal. So here we go. We were just talking about, and that was before I even read this card. We were talking about bringing Raphael to help with the heart chakra as well. These past few months, although I'm sure some good stuff came out of it, it probably, once you do this review, you might be going, oh man, yeah, but it was like 10% good, 90% walking through mud, 90% fighting with people, 90% being bullied, or having people trying to intimidate you. I'm going through that myself right now. It's been a real challenge to keep my energy. I don't know about you, but for me, it's been a real challenge to keep my energy kind of in check. And hopefully August will be the time now where we can just take a breath and let ourselves heal, rejuvenate, and again, have a little bit of comfort. And I'm getting the feeling like I'm, and somebody in the summertime, you lay in a hammock and that's sort of like just, you're kind of cradled in it and you're outside and you're just sort of maybe taking a nap or just looking at the sky or whatever. It's that kind of like lazy summer feel where it's just like, okay, I'm just going to take a moment here. I've been too busy. You know, how many of you have been going through one project after another, and then something happens to your car and you have to contend with that too, or something happens with your house and you have to get that fixed, or you maybe, God forbid, if you had an illness this year, you know, and now all of a sudden you thought you were getting ahead on your finances and boom, here are all these medical bills because your insurance turns out is not good. I mean, these are all like real life kind of things that probably have been occurring for a lot of you. And we're at this time now where I think if you didn't have this break in the action, you might throw your hands up and be like, I don't know what you want from me, God. I don't know what you want. You know, enough is enough. Uncle. I cry uncle, okay? But you're not going to have to, okay? Because I think, and I'm feeling like right off the bat, you might even feel it right at the end of July going into August 1st, where it's like, okay, you're just taking a moment to be okay. Now, here we go. The final card we have before we go on to the color card is Spread Your Wings, Archangel Ariel. Do not hold back right now. The timing is perfect and you are ready to soar. So it feels like all blockades kind of, the road opens, okay? All the blocks are gone. You're able to spread your wings and fly. The wait is over. It is time to make things happen for yourself. You want to make sure you do whatever you're going to do, you know, here in the beginning of the month, because by the end of August, Mercury starts to go retrograde. So I could see why this is coming up for the week of August 1st. So get out there, make your plans, kind of plan ahead for September. I think September is going to be rocky. Again, you know, don't let that dishearten you. I mean, for some people may choose to just lay low and just write it out and be like, whatever, you know, I'm going to stay home today or whatever, you know. So you can do that as well. But make sure that if there is, say, a creative project or a writing project that you want to get off the ground, start doing your submissions, or you know, doing your editing, or, you know, launching your book or your article or whatever it is that you're going to do. Make sure you're doing that soon. Okay. Now let's get on to the color card. Again, I'm going to put some white light on it, being careful not to get it too close to the flame. All right. Okay. And guys, give me anything else on this. I just heard the war is over. Okay. They're talking. Let's do this. Everyone will come to peace. You may not agree with one another, but you will come to peace. For some of you, it might not be a face-to-face kind of thing with somebody. It might be more of like, I'm tired, you're tired. I'm going to let you be, you let me be. Let's just go our separate ways. Right? Can you guys say it again, please? More stability to come. Until And they're showing that until the wavy time. And again, I think the wavy time they're referring to would be September. Okay. Anything else on that? Go with the color card. Okay, so we'll go with the color card here. And let's see what we have. There it is. Coral. Allow flow and synchronicity into your life. The number is 18. What's happened for some of us is maybe some of us have been through such a rough time that we're just shutting down and we're just saying, you know what? No, nope. Quit. I don't know how you guys are, but like, if you watch readings on YouTube, which obviously you do, maybe you're one of those people. I know I am. Oh, love is coming to you this month. Great love is coming to you this month. Great love is coming. I hear it every month. I've been hearing it every month for several years. So now when I hear that, I literally fast forward in the reading because I'm like, I say that all the time. Now, again, when I'm being very, very human and less than perfect, I share it with you so you know where I'm coming from. And I know that you can probably commiserate a little bit or understand and be empathetic. But the Coral card says, okay, we can stop doing that now. You can stop thinking that, you know, good things can't come to you, or that somehow this isn't the right time for you for this, that, or the other. The Coral card actually asks you to heal your emotional body. So that's what this whole week is really about. It's just, again, emerging from the battle, tending to your wounds if you have them, you know, especially emotional wounds, healing your heart. Okay, so for some of you, yes, you have projects that you're trying to launch or get underway or whatever, but there's also this element here too with, can you guys put it a little bit clearer for me? Yeah, you're not invincible. None of us are, okay? And again, with so many things that have been happening, we've kind of been at each other's throats. And people who are typically really cool or peaceful or like go with the flow, who normally would be going with flow and synchronicity and what have you, they're battling one another, or had been battling one another, and you just need a rest. You need a lot of rest and also a lot of fun. Make sure you're giving yourself that opportunity. There's also a message here too that if people have been taking advantage of your kindness, if you are the one who's constantly taking care of everybody else, or you're not honoring what you need to do, right? Like maybe you don't have time to hang out with friends, but they're saying, oh, let's go to the movies, let's do this. And there's a project that's near and dear to your heart that you never can get to because everybody else wants your attention and time. Well, this is the week where you're kind of going, no, I need some me time. I'm going to cleanse. I'm going to get my emotions, kind of back on track here and feeling healthy again and taking what it is that you need. Now, this doesn't need to be in sort of a defensive, like warlike way. Remember, we're coming out of that now. This is more just like I'm cutting the ties to whatever that situation was that's been driving me crazy. I'm cutting the ties to any worry, and I'm going to go with whatever comes my way because I know once I ask for it, the universe will deliver in the way that's appropriate for me. Right? So I'll give you an example. I'm looking for a house. Now, I have my eye on a house in a certain area that was the area I fell down the hill. This could have been a lot worse. I could have fallen off the mountain, but I didn't. I'm alive, in case you didn't notice. But, that's where I want to be. But if I get with a realtor and they're like, hey, what about this other place over here? That's what, just whatever kind of options come to you, don't shut them down. Go and look at them. Or if you're going after a certain job and maybe, somebody else is telling you about a different position and you're doubting yourself, whatever it is, let all your doubts go. Go with the flow and keep an open mind, keep an open heart. Take care of you this week. Okay? So there it is, guys. Have a beautiful week. And of course, I am sending you so much love. Take care.